Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. In the last two episodes, we were working on making this desalination plant, essentially, which is currently cleaning some polluted brine from down in the abyss. Today's episode, I want to shift away from that a little bit, and I want to work on taming these thermal gas fissures. And to do that, I want to create a farm of these pin pockets here, because these um, produce diamond essentially because they produce uni and then or not uni, they produce pinpoki, and then these you crush and you get diamond, and it's more efficient than if you use the diamond press because it takes 80 refined carbon to make one pin pokey, whereas it takes 100 refined carbon. So you're getting 20 kgs more diamond if you farm these, essentially. So I think that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a farm for these somewhere probably down in the abyss. Or maybe actually I could build it up here and just insulate the room and keep it heated. I'll figure out where I'm going to build it, but I want to, because then what we could do is we can then run the thermal gas fissures, because these they need to be um, drilled to get rid of the sulfur buildup every once in a while, and that drill requires diamond to run. So, I think that's what we're going to do for now at the start of the episode. There are a few other little minor tasks I might work on and update on, like down here. These window tiles need to be expanded out through this much further. Um, which means I need to find some way to break back in here with a vacuum to expand this out. As you can see, the temperature of these window tiles, it started out at about 1,200. It's already gotten down to barely getting above like 550 before it needs to dump its temperature into this room already. Um, so we're definitely cooling this down very rapidly, but you can see the tiles right next to the diamond window they're getting sucked up immediately, the temperature. A few tiles away, it's still really hot. So that's why we need to just expand this out, and we'll be able to draw the temperature out of this region much more efficiently. I might build that in the background of this episode as well, while I figure out a farm design for the pin pockets. Um, and also I need to do something about this water because it's going to build up and eventually over. This whole system will shut off if this water overflows, so we need to make sure that doesn't happen. So I'll probably just put in a liquid pump and run a pipe to space during this episode, just in the background. So, in pocket first, figure out a farm design for those. Okay, so I got a tiny bit distracted, and I ran it's basically just a preheater for our two current inputs for this machine, so that the brine goes through the hot water output, and counterflows against, well, not really counterflows, but flows against the hot tank here. That both heats up the input, so we use less heat from here, so it's more efficient, and then it also cools down our output water, which we're going to want eventually. Um, it is hot in the abyss, so it's not going to bring it down too far, but it'll bring it down a pretty decent bit. At least about 20 degrees or so, which is all we really need. It probably won't do anything because it's 95 degrees coming out of the polluted brine vent, but we're not insulating this biome, so we'll see. And then I put in a little liquid pump here. It's just going to take from this tile, essentially, and all of that water. We are currently building a small pipe to space, and we're just going to dump it into the background of space when it gets too high. For now, eventually we will want to cool this, and then we can just use it for whatever we need clean water for. But for right now, I don't know what I'm going to do with a bunch of 95-degree water. So we have we have more water than we know what to do with, so we're dumping it to space. And then I think I'm going to go and get started on the farms now that I've done a little bit of maintenance here. So I was originally, well, I still am pretty much. I'm going to go for a design something like this. where we're gonna have a pool of the liquid brine in here, and then have our uh, plants right here. But I'm going to have to move or just remove these two because I obviously need a liquid tepidizer in here to keep the temperature high enough. Because it's pretty cold everywhere else, and we cool this whole region down using our thermal aquatuner. And then this biome is just always cold, although it's surrounded by a few hot things at this point. Um, so I think this will be 14 um, of the pin pockets, and so we should be producing an uni every like 1 point something cycles, which I'd be pretty content, honestly. That's like like 100, a little under 100 kgs of diamond a day, which is pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna need a lot of diamond, especially since this is already so it's more efficient than the other diamond press. So I think then we'll just build this up, put an insulated door here, which I love these insulated doors. So nice because they're the same. They have the same insulation as an actual insulated tile. So it's pretty much just like it's so nice. I don't have to worry. And for things that don't need to be like perfectly temperature controlled, they're nice. Instead of having to build like a vacuum liquid lock like I did for down here, it's nice to just be able to say, this room will be cold enough for most of the time. All right, liquid tepidizer we'll put in there. It takes a lot of power, so I might see. Do I have any? That'll overload it. I might need to put in another power transformer. Should really have put these in the steam room over here, but what can you do? Oh wait, this power wire is good. I can use this one. We'll just do that is fine since it's not going to be that hot in here. I'm just going to keep it between 40 and 80 degrees. Probably like 50. And let's do a little mop through here. All right. I'll come back when I've filled this with water and built the rest of the stuff in here. All right. I'm just going to very temporarily disconnect the input for the desalinator, and we're just going to take some of this brine and dump it into our farm room. It should be coming in at a 60 degrees or whatever. This will automatically switch over to just redirecting all of the flow from the steam turbines into here and not into the tank, which is what we want. How have these wires not gotten built? That is incredible. I put those down like cycles and cycles ago. Thermosensor is just going to be if it's below, let's say 50 degrees, it'll turn on. So it's coming in pretty hot because it's coming from the actual biome. So we probably won't even need to turn on the tepidizer very often. And now we wait for it to fill up. And then these are the wall planterns. You just put these in. We'll need to make sure our refined carbon is going. I've been using wood just because we have so much of it on the map, and I probably will keep using wood just because we have so many tons of it. We'll just do 99 of that, and I could do another 99 right here. And we'll just make a ton of refined carbon. We'd already have quite a bit on the map. Have how much? We have 33 tons. So we're doing pretty good for refined carbon. And then eventually we might want to make like an arbitrary farm just so we can supply this, but we'll see. The natural amount of trees on the map has been doing us quite well. Especially like right through here, you can see how many there are. We've been doing fine. All right, new printable. We'll just take the wine. I haven't gotten any new dupes because I need to expand the oxygen. This can only support up to 16 dupes, and so we're running max capacity on it as we speak. So we need to make sure not to have too many dupes. All right, I'm gonna wait for this to fill up, and then I'll come back. So I put in a little bit of, well, I'm putting in, I should say, a little bit more transit tubes just to get around to a few places that they might. It's kind of hard to fit in the loading or the access points. So there's just drop-offs on some levels, and then I have one in the industrial block, and it comes straight up to where they get into and out of their exosuits, so they don't have to go through all of this, and it'll just be a lot faster to get around. I plan to expand them out to a few more places, probably up to like here, so they can get to the farming faster. Um, just make things a little bit more efficient. And then here we are up to the third tile now. Um, we look at liquids. We're up to the third tile. We just need one more little layer above here, and then I think I'll be happy to start. I guess I could start planting the ones down here now already. So why not? And the liquid tepanizer has been off since obviously we're dumping in the hot water from down here, right here. So doing good. And then this vent just turned on, you can see, and has started dumping back in here. Um, and it's also still working great. We just need probably to, like I've been saying, we need to expand this out. You can see the door stays closed for a lot longer. Um, Pretty soon it'll probably just stay closed if it, and at least to a degree. Um, but temperatures have been dropping throughout all of this, which is good. That's what we want. And then this, we're still building it, and it's getting very close to being too full. It's not even close to space yet, honestly. So we might have to just let the steam pressure in this room build to a very high amount, and just forcibly turn off the automation here. Because yeah, we can't, if this backs up, that I don't have an automation from in here that says just keep dumping into here. So we'll have to manually auto switch it back. We just don't want it to turn off because otherwise the water we dump in here will just sit here and we'll have problems with off gassing and stuff like that. So, and here's the pin pockets. They just take refined carbon, which we make literally right next door. Part of why I did it here. So we're just gonna queue up another 99 order in both of these. I tend to not like to do forever, especially with things like wood we don't produce infinite amounts of. So I like to be able to measure, like, if we're going to run out of it before. Once these get up to the top, I'll put in the last little bit of pin pocket. And then we have diamond. Let me make sure. I think I am crushing it. Yeah, I am. And let me make sure I'm not using it for food. That's the other thing. You use it up in here. Yeah. It's a really good food. Don't get me wrong. It's just we want it for diamond. So I think now that this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start digging out this biome. Pretty insignificantly. These need to be underwater, so we're going to just build a little thing around them, similar to what I've done up with the tidal turbines. Just build a little containment around them, and we're going to figure out some way to capture this natural gas. I don't know what temperature it comes out at, but I don't think it's going to be hotter than probably like 95 degrees, if anything. But I want to start capturing these since this is a lot of natural gas in all of these spaces. So a lot of power. I'm going to start working on that now. Well, looks like we hit the temperature cap faster than I expected. You can see the door is fully closed, and it's just not hot enough to keep this running, especially with all of this currently going into it. I'm going to temporarily turn this off before we start building up water inside. Just cut it off like here and here. This will keep looping, but that won't be a problem. If we build up a little bit of clean water down here, it's not gonna be a problem. We just don't want polluted water to be sitting at the bottom and give us a single tile of polluted oxygen somehow. This will naturally turn off now as we suck out the heat. Honestly, it might be able to keep up with just having one input stream and not having two, but we'll see. I do definitely need to expand into here again and move it along. I think I'll get into that here soon. We are just about built out into space up here. Looks like we finished the... No. We're going to do crude oil right here. And we're just going to build up out into space. Crude oil? Actually, wait a minute. What is crude oil? Let's use ethanol instead, because I don't know what crude oil freezes at. It might be too 40 degrees, yeah, and outside is 50. So if we had like a bit of cold regolith or something drop into here, it would freeze the oil. We're gonna use ethanol instead because I think that goes to like 80. Let me check. Ethanol. Oh, 114, even better. Yeah, that's plenty good enough for us. So we'll use ethanol here. We have a lot of it from the biome on the map. And then this pipe, we're just gonna bring out and up. Let's get a 6 on these. We're just gonna bring it up like right here, something to space, and dump it for now, since we have an entire water tank of clean water here, and then all of our water comes from infinite sources. So I'm not too fussed about deleting the water. It's not like when I need to use it, I'll add it back. Yeah, it's still not able. It's not able to keep up. Oh shit. Oh, it's fine. It's just regolith. We probably don't want to actually break out into space before we put the liquid lock in. Maybe. Smart idea. So let's do that real quick. Do I not have ethanol in them? Oh, I do have ethanol. Well, so we'll wait for that. The pin pocket farm is going along great. We just need more seeds for them. Let's see. Do we have any diamond? We do have a diamond, but we haven't started producing any diamond yet. But, and then finally, we have our first marine drill down here. We're going to need some pretty hefty power down here. Let's see, how much is on this? Oh, quite a bit. I might put in another power whatever somewhere. Power transformer, that's the name, to be able to run these. But I still need to build the HUD of this, so like up above it. And honestly, why did I build these out of airflow tiles? The natural gas will probably go straight up. We'll see. Basically, we're just gonna have a little thing over this, and we're just gonna have a gas pump inside. We'll get rid of the water somehow. Probably just drain it out, and that'll be our setup for collecting the natural gas from these. Pretty simple. Let's see, are we in space now? Well, really? Even though this is a priority 6, it's still like number 23. All right. Well, all right. Here we are in space. We've fully dug out, and we're just about to get the liquid pipe down. Start auto getting rid of the excess here. This running on just the fumes here barely, as you can see, it opens every once in a while now, but still is closed probably more than we really want. So we need to break in here somehow. I was thinking of maybe building a little vacuum chamber right here, and then just going down along the side, trying to destroy as little of this hot rock as I can. Both so the dupes don't go and grab it while we're building, and because when you mine something, it deletes half the mass of the tile, so we don't want to, and that would obviously get rid of half the temperature. So we want to try to keep as many solid tiles in here as possible. So we'll probably dig down this a little bit more and then build a like channel out each way to fully start taking the heat from here. I'm surprised this lasted as many cycles as it did off of just this small little, I guess, spike in here. But it'll go a lot further here soon. Let's see. Is this... whatever. Alright, here we are. We are dumping the water up into space. Coming from all the way down here. This tank just overflows once it gets to this tile and higher. Let's see. I think this I set... yeah, we're good. We can probably set this now to do this now again. And it should... This liquid pump can pump faster. Can it pump faster than I put in? Hold on, wait. Yeah, I can. We put in 8 kgs per second, and this takes out 10 kgs per second. Um, and I could probably hook back up the actual input lines, although the temperature is still going to be a problem. We do not produce enough temperature to keep this running sustainably. Uh, well, whatever. But the polluted if we get any polluted oxygen in here, then it becomes a problem. But I doubt it will happen since we have such high gas pressure. We'll just turn it back on and see what happens. Honestly, you can see the door immediately close. You can see the polluted oxygen gets or polluted water gets pretty far out here. Um, it's not instantly vaporizing, which is what we would want. Let me expand out some temp shift plates here. We'll go like that, and that should help distribute out. You can see this side instantly flashes because the temp shift plates are way higher. Yay. Let's for right now, let's turn off that input until those temp shift plates are made. All right, we built those temp shift plates, and you can see that the input's back on, and we get like one tile there for a second, and then it immediately flashes. The thing is, this isn't going to be able to keep up. The temperature down here is just too low now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this episode here for the day. We built this very nice pin pocket farm, and we added a little bit more just infrastructure to this desalination. And finally, we're dumping water up here to get rid of we have way too much water on this map. It is an ocean, so it's expected. I think next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to hook up these thermal gas fissures, and we're going to actually build like a real infrastructure around them, and then maybe build a little power plant somewhere that collects all of the natural gas and then burns it when we need it. We have hit the like as much power as we need, or we don't hit too high of power, like we can't our potential load. But let's see, does this ever turn on, or has it turned on recently? No, but it looks like it's just about to. This is the backup generator, and I also have another one right here. If either of these turn on, then it means that we've gotten we need more power on the grid. But our steam turbines down here and the tidal turbines handle it pretty well. But just have a fail-safe power from these natural gas thermal gas fissures would be quite nice. And they'll produce us sulfur, which we need for rubber production. So next episode, that's what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work on the collecting all the thermal gas fissures and then making a like power plant out of the natural gas that we get. Probably dump the polluted water right back into here and not desalinate, in that case, clean it. And we'll just end up pumping more water up into space, probably. This is going to be going pretty much forever. Let's see. So that's where I'm going to leave this episode, and thanks everybody for watching.